It's very hard too.
So the question is, do we go camping during our winter months? The answer to that is no, we do not. There's several things that come into play as to why we don't. First of all, we're not full-timers and we still have our sticks and bricks. Secondly, we have jobs that are not remote that we still need to do. And you also need to think about where it is you're going to go camping. Because we're not full-timers, we need to find places that are within a driving distance of where we live, and most of those campgrounds in our area are shut down for the winter. If you do find a place, you need to think about things like, well, is it going to be cold enough that my pipes are going to freeze and I'm not going to have access to water? Or am I at a location where I can refill my propane tank so that I can have heat in my camper or run my stove in the kitchen? So thinking about all these things, we just really don't feel like it's necessary for us to try to go camping in the winter. But this video will give you a glimpse as to what all goes on with the Goodman household during a typical weekend in the wintertime when we are not camping. Bailey, aren't you ready to come inside? Aren't your paws frozen? Come on, we'll come back out later and play. Come on, buddy. He's refusing. I had to bring you in. Look at all the snowballs on your feet. Did you see those? There's a lot of snowballs on your feet. Your paws are cold. Harry's working on putting clean dishes away. Thank you, appreciate it. For lunch, I'm gonna make us some shaved steak sandwiches and have it topped with sauteed green pepper and onions and Monterey Jack cheese. So that's like a Philly cheesesteak, except we're gonna be eating ours on toasted rye bread.
Yummy.
Hey, we're bringing our dogs out to our favorite county park where we live so that we can go for a walk. It's still, the sun went away, and so it's kind of cold now and the breeze is picking up, but they're going to have a good time. They get some energy out and it allows us to get some exercise too.
It's only 33, but it's the highest we've had all week, so, you know.
We'll take it.
We take it.
The birds were singing, a sunbeam streaming from my window pane. The day gets ready for a new beginning. A brand new day is calling my name. Oh, what's the promise of this coming day? Open your eyes and it's okay. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. The sun is up, the sky turns blue. Secrets of the night all gone. It's a new day, smiling and young. I gotta get up, get out in the sun. What's the promise of this coming day? There's nothing that you have to say. Just open your eyes and it's okay. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day.
That's a lot of snowballs. It collects
It's
in
very
her
hard,
long
too.
hair that hangs down off the back of her leg. Poor thing. She probably felt like she was walking around with weights on her leg. Heave ho! All right. Bye.
Now we have one more to go.
That would be Little Squirt.
She's shivering.
I know. Sierra, did you have a good time, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good time? And a good time to have by all. The snow slid off the roof of the truck and is now covering the windshield.
Oh, and the windshield used to be on the top of the truck.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It all slid off. Are you ready?
Hello, everybody.
Come on, get on my lap. Keep you up front with me so you don't get seasick again. Sierra, you ready to go home, honey? Yeah. You guys ready to go home? Did you have a good time? Yeah, go home and lay in your beds. Get all warmed up. We're making lasagna for supper tonight. Yum. See, Vanny doesn't need to be candled, and neither does Bailey, although technically he gets into trouble sometimes. Steals gloves out of coat pockets and such. Yeah, that would be you. Yeah. All right, Sierra, come on, honey. I've got a biscuit for you. You want it? Get in your kennel. Come on, get in your kennel. Oh, get in there. Come on, get your butt in there. There's your biscuit. Good girl. You got your bone to chew on. It's right there. Here's another biscuit, honey. Good girl. Okay. Locking her in. All right. You lay down, be a good girl, and we'll be back later. You two get a biscuit when we go out the door. Are you ready for your bye-bye cookie? Yeah? Can you sit down, honey? Sit down. Good girl. Good girl. Can you shake? Give me your little papa. That's it, good girl. Here's your cookie. Yep. All right, Bailey, are you ready for yours? Are you ready for yours? Sit down. Good boy. Give me a shake. Oh, very generous paw. Yeah. There you go. All right. See you guys later. We're home. Hi, babies. Come on in. Hi, Sissy. Good boy. Hi. Did you fix this? Oh, I think you did. Oh, now you woke your sister up. Yeah. Hi, Oscar. You want to get out? Yeah. Psycho potty. Okay. I got another one to get. Oh, here we go. Whee! Hi. Hi. Did you miss me too? Yes, you did. Okay, we better go outside and go potty before we pee our pants. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Yep. Don't want to pee your pants. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Yeah. I'm sure the neighbors really appreciate all your barking. Yes. Sometimes in my busy schedule, I'm able to carve out time to do art. So welcome to my little studio, which is actually just a spare room in our house that I have turned into my little sanctuary. I like to focus on painting what I see in nature. I don't do human portraits, but I will do animals and landscapes. And I mostly focus on oil painting and watercolor, but sometimes I've done a few things with acrylic and also a little bit of work with silversmithing for jewelry. I don't have a lot of time for art, and so I don't have a lot of pieces that are made. I've sold some originals. I've also had fine giclée prints made of my artwork and have sold that as well. Maybe someday when I retire from my full-time job, I'll have more time to devote to making art because it really is a long-term passion of mine. I was self-taught with a little bit of instruction from my grandmother and my mother, and then took some art classes in high school. And then in my college years, I did minor in art. So you can see here on my easel, this is a painting that I've been working on for quite some time now. This is an image that I'm creating based on what I have seen and my experiences on Chincoteague and Assateague Island in Virginia. Harry and I have made 2 trips there, and we have been able to see the Chincoteague ponies and even meet a pony in person who was a direct lineage of Misty of Chincoteague. It was a favorite childhood book of mine written by Margaret Henry. And in this painting, I'm taking my time with it because I want to do some research to know what the offsprings of Misty looked like and try to depict them here in this painting. And my horse here in the foreground, this is going to be Misty. And now here's a preview for you of some paintings that I have created. These are my originals that hang in my home. Also in my spare time, I like to sew. And in the last maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, maybe slightly longer, I've been focusing on learning to make quilts, which I find to be a lot of fun. My grandmother helped to teach me to sew, and my mother did a little bit as well. And back in the late 80s, my grandmother gave me her sewing machine because she was no longer sewing. And it was an old green colored Sears Kenmore sewing machine that I believe might have been from the early 70s. And I used that throughout my high school years and actually took a couple of home ec classes related to sewing, made my own prom dress. So that was a lot of fun. But sewing for me kind of went by the wayside because the machine kept breaking down and I just sort of set it aside, for a number of years. In 2013, Harry bought me a new sewing machine, a Bernina 380. And about 4 years ago, I got a larger Bernina for quilting, a Bernina 770 Quilters Edition. So here's some examples of some things that I've been quilting. I spoil our pets, and this first one here is for our kitty. I made her a little quilt so I can lay it across the back of the couch where she likes to sleep. And then this pink and green one is for our dog Savannah. The blue and orange one is for our dog Bailey. And then I recently just purchased some material to make another little quilt for our newest member of the family, our little dog Sierra. I have this quilt that I'm currently working on. It's all put together. However, I need to do my machine quilting on it now. And this is a queen size quilt that will be for our bed. And I recently made this quilt that I'm gonna go ahead and finish a little bit more stitching on it. I do have it quilted on the blocks, but I've decided I want to also do some quilt stitching on the border that goes around it. And this is a lap size quilt that I made just slightly longer so that my feet are covered up when I'm sitting in my chair with the quilt over my lap. This is a picture of a quilt that I made when I first got the little Bernina that Harry bought me, and it was the first quilt that I ever made. So I'm really proud of this one. It turned out very well, and the material that is in it is mostly from material that my mother had bought back in the early 1980s, and she handed down to me. So it's really precious to have that material that used to be hers in this quilt. This is my latest quilt that I'm working on. This is a log cabin pattern, and I have it here on a big piece of cardboard as I'm laying out the design of it. In between the first and second row of the log cabins will be a row with stars, and this is that row that has the stars in it. I got this pattern through Carried Away Quilting, and the designer of this calls this one Star Watch. However, I think I'm going to adapt the name of it and call it Log Cabin Under the Stars. And I still have some yardage left over of that fabric that was my mother's back in the 80s, and I'm going to use these to make borders around the edges to enlarge the size of the quilt, and then this will be my backing. This is a wall hanging quilt that I designed myself, and it actually hangs in our camper. But when we travel around and go camping, we like to collect patches of all of the places that we have been. Some of these were from when we had our pop-up camper, some of them are from when we had our mini light camper, and then some of these are from now when we have our Granddesignreflection. And I have a few spaces left over to add a few more patches. I have a whole baggie full of patches that still need to be sewn on, and I'm going to actually need to make a second quilt to have a place for the rest of those patches. Harry tells me I have way too many hobbies and not enough time to do them, and he's absolutely correct about that. However, being an artist, I don't want to stifle myself from my creativity, so I'm okay with it. And even if it takes me a long time to get anything done, I'm okay with that too, because it's a lot of fun. So hey, I want to thank you guys for joining us in this video. You know, just an experience in the life of the Goodmans and our dogs, of, you know, what we do when we are not actually out camping. So thanks again for joining us, and until we see you next time, remember to be genuine with your love, be present with those in your life, and live each day with grace. See you next time.